What's good, gamers? Before anybody asks, this is MD Pro 3. Maliss is not in Master Duel yet, but I figured I'd make a little preparation video for you guys, so I tested the deck a little bit, got some replays, not a ton of replays. I want this video to be very quick to make because I want to get some sleep. We are going to be doing a Goblin Hours stream, opening the new pack as soon as it drops. For this video, I just want to give you a quick introduction to Maliss itself as an archetype for the people like me that just play Master Duel and don't really engage with the TCG or OCG or whatever, and aren't necessarily as familiar with the cards. So what we have here is a deck that is obviously going to be the best deck in the game. The cards are insanely overpowered. As per usual with a new good deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it's really fun to play. I think this is going to be one of those decks with the new toy syndrome where it's going to take a week or two and then you're really going to hear people complaining about it. But from my testing today, I was having a lot of fun actually playing the deck. It's pretty fun to play. So what's the deal with Maliss? Well, what they do, generally speaking, is they special summon themselves by being banished, and they banish each other very easily. They do it a lot. So I'd say like your main starter is probably Dormouse. This is probably your best starter. Dormouse can basically just banish a Maliss from your deck. If this card is banished, it's special summoned from the banish pile, as well as many others. So for example, you can go Dormouse, banish White Rabbit from your deck, then White Rabbit also special summons itself by being banished. White Rabbit on summon can then set one of your Maliss traps. Your Maliss traps are extenders in this deck. That's a pretty funny one. So for example, your GWC06 can be activated the turn it was set by banishing a face-up Maliss monster you control. Stuff like this is really crazy. It makes it so drawing your in-engine traps doesn't really hurt you very much, and in fact your traps are kind of just part of your combo on top of being solid interruption. This card in particular, special summons from the grave or banish a Maliss monster, and you can special summon one of your Maliss cards that are interruptions on summon, such as White Binder. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. This one here, MTP07, searches, and also it's a banish. So this is a good card going second. If you're going second and you want to set this just to activate it, get a search to extend your plays, and also get to remove a card on the field, that's also pretty crazy. And this one here, special summons from your deck, or if your opponent controls 3 or more cards, you can actually special summon a Maliss Link monster from your extra deck. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. All of these cards are pretty great. I will say this does negate the monster that it summons while it's on the field. So if you want to get the effect of what you summon, you normally need to remove it and bring it back in some way, which is very easy to do. But generally speaking, let's just talk about these cards a bit more one by one here. So Dormouse, probably your best starter, can banish from your deck to just special summon whatever. The March Hare, this is one of the cards that we're not guaranteed to get from what I understand, but if we do get it, this card is an extender. It has a quick effect to special summon itself by banishing a Maliss card from your hand or grave. And this one, unlike the other main deck Maliss cards, doesn't special summon from banish. It adds itself back to hand after being banished. We have the Chessy Cat. This card is super absurd, getting you to draw 2 by banishing a Maliss card from your hand. So it's basically like you have 6 copies of Allure of Darkness in this deck, which is pretty broken. And then White Rabbit, as I talked about earlier, on summon sets one of your Maliss traps from the deck that is not already in the grave. All of these are super broken, insane cards. You already know all the staples. Gold Sarcophagus is going to be a no-brainer in this deck because, well, obviously you can just banish one of your names and then summon them. It's just super broken. Your field spell is very solid. It has a similar effect to Dormouse, where you can just banish a Maliss name from your deck. If you're doing a 1-card combo with this card, you're usually going to be wanting to banish Dormouse, Dormouse special summon itself, Dormouse banish White Rabbit, White Rabbit special summon itself. So yeah, pretty solid stuff there. Allure of Darkness is a no-brainer in this deck, obviously. Called by, cross out. Maliss in the Mirror, this is another one that we're not 100% getting, but if we do get it, it is really, really strong. So for the replays in this video, we're just going to treat it as if we get everything. If we don't, I mean, I'm probably just going to make another video covering this stuff, adjusting for what we didn't get. But Maliss in the Mirror is a really good card as an interruption. Basically, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, banish a Maliss monster from your hand or face-up field, and if you do, negate that target's effects until the end of this turn. So because of interactions like that, it's pretty good. But the real main reason that this card is actually good is because of its own banish effect. So if this card is banished, you can target a Maliss card in your grave, banish it, and if you do, add one Maliss card of the same type, monster, spell, or trap from your deck to your hand. Yeah, that's just super broken. Honestly, it's just a really good way to extend your combo when you get like absolute full combo. So really crazy card. And Dominus Impulse is kind of a no-brainer if you're playing the more pure variant of this deck. You don't play any light, earth, or, well, the only wind monster you're playing is Appaloosa. And then earth, I don't think you're playing anything that's earth. Pretty much everything you're playing is dark. Except for, yeah, Appaloosa and Firewall. So I guess Dominus Impulse kind of, shuts off a bit of your extra deck potential if you use it from hand. But other than that, Impulse is just such a crazy card that I think it's kind of worth it. And if you resolve this, that's probably going to win you the game on its own in a lot of scenarios. So it's really not that big of a deal. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a couple of replays. I've only got 2. I don't want this video to be long to make, and also don't want it to be long for you, because this is really just meant to be an introduction to the archetype. So I've got a replay going full combo, 1-card combo with Dormouse. Then I've got another replay kind of showing how you can play into Droll really well with this deck because of all the setting effects and the banishing from deck stuff, kind of making it so you don't have to add that much stuff to your hand to play this deck. In fact, I think I'm not good enough at this deck yet where my plays into Droll could actually have been better if I was more accustomed to the strategy. So yeah, those replays are going to be really helpful if you're just learning the deck. Let's just jump into it. All right, so here we go. I'm going to show you this first replay here, 1-card combo with Dormouse, and I just want to tell you the amount of advantage that this deck generates is just absurd. So let's just go for it. I'm going to show you here. You start off with Dormouse, normal summon, banish the March Hare from your deck. March Hare triggers, you lose a bit of life points. It comes back to your hand. It's okay, you'll have a way to gain back those life points. Link away the Dormouse into your Link Decoder. Then you can activate March Hare in hand, banish the Dormouse from the grave, and special summon the March Hare. You get the Dormouse effect, you get to bring it back. Then you have 3 bodies on the field. You can use all 3 of them and make yourself a red ransom. At this point, you can use the red ransom effect to search a spell, and you get the Link Decoder effect to come back from the grave. I usually would use Link Decoder here to chain block, but if you're worried about Ghost Spell, you can do it the other way. Of course, that's playing into Ash, so it's really up to you. I'd rather play around Ash because it's a bit more common, right? So anyway, we get our field spell here with the red ransom, and then we use our Link Decoder plus our red ransom to make Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. So I do want to point out, your opponent was able to go Nibiru right before here, right? When you had like Link Decoder plus red ransom. If they did, you could extend with Maliss in Underground. Your board would be weaker, but you would still be able to extend a little bit further. It wouldn't necessarily be the end of the game for you. So just wanted to point that out. You could just banish the White Rabbit come back, White Rabbit get the trap, and then, with the trap you could bring back your red ransom, and you could do some stuff with that. There was still a way out of that, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's just keep it going here. We go for Appaloosa, activate Maliss in Underground, banish the Maliss in the Mirror. Maliss in the Mirror banishes our Maliss red ransom from the grave, which is going to allow us to search the White Rabbit, and then we also get to special summon our red ransom since it was banished, and then we get to banish from our deck with the effect of red ransom. So red ransom is going to banish the Chessy Cat. Chessy Cat can special summon itself. Chessy Cat then gets its effect, banishing White Rabbit from hand to get a draw 2, and then White Rabbit gets to special summon itself from the banish pile, and you can kind of see the amount of advantage being generated here. White Rabbit can set your GWC 06. GWC is the one that can banish a Maliss, or if it's your opponent's turn, you don't have to banish a Maliss from your field, but basically you can banish a Maliss to special summon one of your Maliss monsters that's in your grave or banishment. So anyway, we're going to keep it going here with these 2. We can make ourselves a Splash Mage, activate the effect of Splash Mage, bring back our Chessy Cat, and then we can use Chessy Cat plus Splash Mage to make White Binder. White Binder then gets to activate banishing the Chessy Cat, and we're going to go for our trap here, banishing the White Binder, and it's going to come back to the field with its own effect. So bring back our March Hare from the grave, White Binder trigger, banish the Chessy Cat, and then we can special back the White Binder from the banish pile. The Chessy Cat banish here I don't think is like super... It doesn't really do anything. I'm not even sure why I did that, honestly. Anyway, White Binder, I guess, is set back our GWC so that we can special summon White Binder on opponent's turn if we need it. And we get to make ourselves a Firewall Dragon. So when we bring back either the white binder or the red ransom from the grave on opponent's turn, we're going to be pointing to, well, this is going to be co-linked to 2 other link monsters. So I think it's going to get 2 bounces, right? If I'm not up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card. Yeah. So it's going to get a double bounce basically on your Firewall Dragon. And we also get to make a Linkuriboh here just to get a trap negate so that they can't just like imperm Firewall on their turn or imperm Appaloosa. Well, obviously, if they had imperm on Appaloosa, they could have done it here. I don't know if Appaloosa gets back her attack. I don't think so. But anyway, Gold Sarcophagus here. We're going to banish just a Fuelos because I was just pressing my buttons after I finished my 1-card combo. And I realized I didn't have anything good because I already used all my banish effects from all my Maliss cards. So I set the Dominus Impulse here. You know, I set my call by, set my MTP, which I already had. And here I'm just going to show you a bit of our interaction because it is pretty crazy stuff. So my opponent goes for the Cosmic Cyclone. Here I can use MTP07 in response just to get a search. And with my search, I can get the March Hare. Now, March Hare is actually pretty darn good here because, well, we can just use it to banish, say, the white binder so that we have another way to special white binder other than our trap. It also makes it so if we went for the GWC06 to bring back white binder and get that like triple called by effect, if they wanted to go called by on our white binder, we could then go March Hare, chain, banish our white binder and still get to bring it back by banishing it. So, you know, that's like pretty cool stuff that you can do with March Hare. It's basically a hand trap on top of being an extender if you think about it. So anyway, they're going to go for Sign It Universe here. You know, I don't even know what that was. Anyway, Link Slayer, I'm just going to go for this, bring back the red ransom here because I have everything I need to bring back everyone and I just want to make a nice fancy field. So red ransom searches a field spell. They go for Link Slayer, whatever. We go called by on their guy. It doesn't really matter here. We're playing against a really bad bot, but I just wanted to kind of show some of our interactions that we get with this deck. So they set a couple of cards here. I'm going to go for the March Hare, banish white binder, pay some life points, get to bring back the white binder, and then white binder can banish some cards from the opponent's grave. In this case, not very useful. Here I go Firewall Bounce just to activate Max C so that the bot gives me another free draw. I just wanted to show all my interactions that I could. And an important thing to note here that I did not note, the field spell on top of being able to banish from your deck also is basically a better version of Linkuriboh, where if you control a Maliss Link monster, your opponent is forced to hit into your Maliss Link monsters, which means you basically have a built-in way of protecting a lower attack Appaloosa or a Linkuriboh, for example. So that kind of stuff is really important and it's very valuable. Makes it really hard for your opponent to summon like, you know, a 1800 beat stick and just hope to go beat over Appo, let's say, or stuff like that. So it's very, very oppressive, very silly. It's a small detail, but that effect actually seems to make it really hard to crack the board. So yeah, that's about it here. Actually, no, I want to show you this because it just looks really cool. You can make an access code, right? And then you can go access code, banish one of your Maliss Link monsters, and they come back. That feels so good. When you're going to do this in Master Duel, when you're going to go access code, banish a Maliss trigger, and the banish pile come back, you're going to feel so good. And when someone does it to you, you're going to feel so upset. But anyway, you know, access code, do a little bit of banishing, do a little bit of swinging, you know, do a little bit of activating and BMing just to show the insane advantage we're generating. And that's about it for this little replay here. I think that's a pretty damn good showcase for the 1-card combo, and I do want to be fully upfront here and give a big shout out to Mordred Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm actually going to link Mordred Yu-Gi-Oh's video in the top of the description just because he has a lot of 1-card combos in his video that are going to work in Master Duel. This was the first one that he showed, which is the Dormouse 1-card combo, and then I just kind of kept going and showing some of the interaction we had. But his video is going to be really useful if you want to learn about more 1-card combos. So I'm going to link it at the top of the description if you just want to get a bit more in depth on the 1-card combos you have access to. Big shout out Mordred Yu-Gi-Oh. And then next up here, I just want to show you our plays into Droll. Here I was just kind of testing, and honestly, the kind of stuff you can do into Droll is pretty crazy, especially considering that I don't even know what I'm doing. So I'm guessing, you know, if you actually know what you're doing, playing into Droll must be absolutely insane, because I was just kind of shooting the shit here. It took me like 2 tries to get a decent replay into Droll, and I was just kind of pressing pressing buttons, you know what I mean? But I'm going to show you anyway. So here we go, Dormouse. Dormouse, activate. They're going to go for Ghost Ogre. The Ghost Ogre is not super consequential. I feel like that's a bad spot to use it because it's a bot, but whatever. I guess it counts. So we're playing through 2 interruption. But anyway, we go for Chessy Cat here. Chessy Cat, banish the Dormouse in hand to get the Dormouse banish effect. And here they go Droll after I get my 2 draws. So I'm going to use my Dormouse to go into a Link Decoder. Then I'm going to go for March Hare, banishing the Dormouse in the grave to special summon it. And we're going to use all 3 of these to make ourselves a White Binder, because White Binder can set from the deck. And we also get our Link Decoder effect to come back from the grave. So White Binder here, banishing a couple of cards. I'm banishing my March Hare just to get it back to my hand, because it's pretty useful on opponent's turn to get, you know, that effect I showed you in the last replay. So here we go, March Hare, come back to the hand. And we have Decoder plus a level 3 Link here, Link 3 I mean. So we can get ourselves a GWC, using Decoder plus this to make ourselves an Apo. And already here, this is not even bad to pass on. You know, you got through 2 hand traps. You have 2 monster negates. On opponent's turn, you can bring back White Binder with your trap. White Binder would then banish up to 3 cards from your opponent's grave. Or you can banish your own cards from your own grave to just get more bodies on the field. We have Maxi, we have Ash in hand. You know, this is not even a terrible spot to be on. So we can go for our field spell here, Maliss Underground, banish our White Rabbit, get our other trap, the one that's like removal. So we go for this, you know, grab the MTP07, and now it's like looking great, right? Because this is a banish card. This searches and then it banishes a card on the field. So now you get 3 banishes from the grave, 2 monster negates plus a banish from the field, and this is into 2 hand traps, one of which is Droll. So I mean, like, this is pretty crazy. Here we can use this card to go into Lingeribo. So now we also have a trap negate. They can't just imperm your Appaloosa on their turn if they top deck it. Like, this is really, really good stuff. Into Droll is crazy. They're going to go for Prodigy Wakaushi. I'm just going to chain Maxi here. And we're just going to fast forward through this stuff here. Check the interruptions a little bit. So they're going to go for Benkei. We're going to Ash the Benkei. You know, simple stuff. Then they're going to normal summon the Soul Piercer. They get a search from the Soul Piercer here. I'm going to go for Appaloosa negate. And at that point, I'm going to go for my GWC with White Binder to banish the Soul Piercer and also banish my own White Rabbit just to special summon it back and get another trap. And then they're going to go to battle. If they go to battle, of course, they have to hit into this. They didn't have to go to battle here. It's just a stupid bot. But whatever, they go to end phase. I'm going to use my MTP07 to add a card back to my hand and banish theirs. And then I'm going to use this, even though it does nothing, basically just to show that you can use it the turn you set it, even on opponent's turn, if you have a Maliss that you want to banish. Not super useful in this particular scenario, but if they controlled more than 3 cards, you know, I could have summoned in end phase the Maliss Heart's Cryptor, which is like a quick effect banish that I could use back. Well, I could use it on my own turn because it would be negated while it's on the field for the turn that I activated this card. But anyway, I was just kind of showing options that you had, but I think into Droll, this is a pretty darn good showcase for what the deck can do. And yeah, here, you know, we just kind of press buttons and, you know, do goofy stuff. I think I do the access code thing again. Oh yeah, I set this MTP, clear their field with MTP and get a search, right? I wanted to show that. MTP, pretty silly card. Here we do the cool thing with access code, you know, make access code, banish this because I have nothing to pop, so I banish it with March Hare instead. Do a bit more banishing, a bit more summoning, use all these, go into Cryptor just because I hadn't summoned it yet, and yeah, call it a day. This is, it's going to be dominant, it's going to be the best deck in the game, and people are going to hate it very quickly. I hope this video was helpful as like a little introduction to the deck, as well as just like a list you can copy until I make an actual deck profile. I don't know if I'll be able to, you know, because I do have work after I do that Goblin stream, and I'm just going to be on low sleep. I'm really going to go right back to bed after the stream. So I wanted to have something out at least for the people that wanted something from me for the new set. And yeah, I'm still going to cover it. Don't worry. I'm just not sure if it's going to be in the morning, probably a bit later in the day. Anyway, thank you for checking out the video. And yeah, see ya in the stream on Goblin Hours.